All right, welcome to another sneaky little midweek episode. We thought we might do this to help people for 2025 on their GIBB River Road adventures.
Yeah, something short, succinct, and a bit more about the GIBB.
Succinct?
Like, isn't succinct like just, you know?
Yeah, could be. I've never heard it before.
Anyway, something a bit easy to watch and just quickly get notes like that.
So to start off, we went from Derby to Kununurra, so west to east. And we started at Derby. Derby's got everything. It's got your shops, fuel, food, water, everything.
Yeah, it was actually a great little town. Like, we stayed at the caravan park, just did everything, fueled up.
Yeah.
Went to Woolies.
Fuel was $2.20.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, normal, and yeah, it's got all the amenities. But then from there we left, and the first place I guess you'd go is the GIBB River Road sign.
Yeah, so the sign where you get your little pickies, your cute little pickies.
Get your little ching there, and then you head out. Now the first 160 kilometres of the GIBB is tar all the way to the 𝐿eonard River rest area,
which is something that shocked us initially. We were thinking like, oh my god, like it was straight to corrugations, but you're really not. So yeah, you can stay at the 𝐿eonard River rest area, which is free, but it's also the turn off to 𝐬𝐮𝐲𝐬 Gorge and Tunnel Creek, which you turn right onto a dirt road, which is pretty corrugated. Well, when we did it. Let's please note that our corrugations and your corrugations might be different. We're used to dirt roads.
Everyone's corrugations are different.
Yeah, everyone's corrugations or like dirt roads are different. So what's corrugated for?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. A dirt road's a dirt road.
And it changes each year, each week. So I think you just go with the flow, to be honest. So that's throughout the whole GIBB River, by the way.
Yeah. But with 𝐬𝐮𝐲𝐬's got a gorge itself where you sort of walk along the gorge. It was pretty, it wasn't the best when we were there because a salty had moved all the freshwater crocodiles out, which is what it's known for.
Yeah, you can see heaps of freshwater crocs.
Yeah.
It's not a hard walk and you can't swim. Something I thought you could, you can't swim there. Don't swim there.
But it's got a campsite. It was about $40 a night for us plus your national parks pass fee. And it was camping. It was a paddock with a few fire rings and
it's all unpowered.
Yeah, and toilets.
So we didn't stay there.
Yeah, we stayed at 𝐿eonard Gorge and drove in for the day.
Yeah, day tripped it. And then we went to Tunnel Creek the next day.
Yeah, and it's awesome. It's a cool little walk through a dark tunnel. It's not as bad as probably what you've seen on social media. The one water crossing where you have to swim is like maybe 5 metres, if that.
Yeah, and like the boys did it. They just had their floaties or their little boards.
Yeah, but you wouldn't even need that really.
Nah, if your kids can swim, they'll just like kick a few times and they're over. So it's not bad at all. It's a pretty cool experience though, like in the dark and... Yeah,
you definitely need a head torch.
Yeah, definitely don't forget that. Yeah. But yeah, that was cool. A lot of like rock scrambling, so if you're not too good or your knees or your hips aren't too good,
just helicopter in.
Yeah, just beware, like there is a lot of rock climbing to get into the tunnel itself.
Yeah.
But that was good.
Yeah. So we did all that day tripping and then we stayed at 𝐿eonard River rest area. There's some awesome little rapids at 𝐿eonard River just upstream from the campsite itself, which are great for a dip because there is crocs in 𝐿eonard River itself. So
yeah, anywhere you go, you just got to watch out for crocs.
Assume there's crocs.
But yeah.
Yeah.
After 𝐿eonard River, where did we go?
So literally after the 𝐿eonard River Bridge, that's the start of the dirt for the GIBB. I think there's roughly about 400 k's of dirt, but of that 400 k's, a lot of it's tar still, if that makes sense, like tarred sections in between it. So you might do a gravel road for 20 kilometres, then we'll go to dirt, to tar for 10 kilometres, and so on and so on.
Yeah.
But yeah, that brings us out to Mount Hart is the next stop along the GIBB River Road, isn't it?
Yeah, Mount Hart is 50 k's off the main GIBB River Road. Beautiful scenic drive in.
Heaps of water crossings.
Yeah, heaps of water crossings, and the campground itself, look...
It was nice. I found it nice.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
We went in because we had friends in there, So $65 a night. Older kids were additional.
Yeah, which we thought was like really, really expensive, but that was pretty well nearly the cheapest camp along the GIBB.
Yeah, and Mount Hart is like a resort sort of thing. Like you had your camping down the bottom with a beautiful place to swim.
Yeah, toilets, showers.
Yeah, toilets, showers. You can get water up the top, but up the top there's like safari tents where they do all the bus tours. Yeah, the big glamping tents were hectic.
Yeah, it's the commercial side of the GIBB, which, in all honesty, the GIBB is very commercial.
Yeah,
we think. So all your big tour buses and groups and all that go there. It's the spot where they do a lot of helicopter tours out of. So if you want a helicopter tour.
No, well, we'd heard, not that we did a helicopter tour, but from everyone you speak to, Derby was the place to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, Mount Hart has a restaurant, it had a bar. What else did it have?
Oh, it has all the amenities.
But very expensive. A beer was $13 for a beer. Hectic.
Yeah.
But yeah, a beautiful spot.
Anyway, from there you jump back, like you do your 50 k's out of there, you jump back on the GIBB River Road, and then you come out to... And the next spot that we stopped at was called March Flag Ground. Now, it's a little free camp just in the middle of, it seems like two sort of like mountain ranges, so I guess you'd call it a valley. It's free camp, it's just like a paddock. There was a little creek running through it.
Yeah.
But that was a great spot for us because we spent 4 nights there, and we actually did Bell Gorge from there. I think it's about 5 kilometres west from the Bell Gorge turnoff. So we day tripped it into Bell Gorge from there.
Yeah, which was a cool little day trip, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You can actually stay out at, I think it's Silent Grove, which is another like national park camp, which costs you $40 a night. Adults, I don't know, it costs more for children, but yeah, that's your parks pass and then the camping fees. But then yeah, Bell Gorge itself, such a cool walk. It was a nice walk, hey?
Yeah, it was. And then the gorge is pretty impressive, and the falls and all that sort of thing.
Yep.
It's probably the first serious waterfall you come to if you're going from west to east.
Yeah. And that was good.
Yeah.
The dirt road there was pretty cool. It had a heap of crossings.
Yeah, water crossings it did actually. And probably one of the deeper ones along the GIBB, I would say.
Yeah.
Those water crossings. But yeah, that's a cool, well worth it. Bell Gorge is well worth it. And if you like free camping, March Flag again, I reckon, is the place to be there.
Yeah, awesome. It was really good. Closer than Leonard Gorge, which was a bit, you just sort of backtrack not far.
Yeah, Leonard Gorge you could reach from there. It was shut at the time that we were there.
So we can't say anything on that one, unfortunately.
But it's supposed to have a cool 4-wheel drive track down to it and a nice little walk, so we didn't get to do it. So from there, March Flag again, you actually go through a community. I'm not going to pronounce the community's name. I'll put it here because it's
It had like a stores, fuel. It did have a campground there.
Yeah, and a rubbish tip.
Yeah, which was pretty cool because it was just literally a hole in the ground.
Yeah, it was. You just chuck your rubbish in and keep going. But that community had the cheapest fuel on the GIBB River Road at $2.85, I think it was.
Yeah, compared to
all the other stations and all that, because they all have fuel, water, etc.
Yeah, so just if you can, do your research.
Yeah, so we just topped up there because it was cheapest. We probably didn't have to, but we did anyway. Yeah. It didn't have unleaded fuel though.
No, it didn't.
Yeah.
No.
So if you got an unleaded car, you just got to be mindful of that.
Yeah.
And then from there, the gorges go Adcock Gorge, Galvin's Gorge, and then it brings you out to...
Wait, are you skipping to Galvin's?
Yeah.
Because Galvin's was amazing.
Yeah, Galvin's is one of the best gorges on the GIBB for us, I reckon.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was up there.
They're all so good, but it was like this tiny little gorge at the bottom of this little walk in. I think it's about a kilometre walk in. You got a pool, like a 2-drop waterfall, big barrel at the top. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, not much parking there, but we actually parked across the way, which was a massive gravel pit. We just left the truck and the van there while we did that walk.
Yeah. And then the next spot along the Gibb is Manning Gorge or Mount Barnett Roadhouse.
Yeah, so the Roadhouse first.
Yeah.
The Roadhouse is where you can get literally everything. Like it's got hot food, fuel, water to fill up your tanks.
General store.
Yeah, general store, but $20 for a sourdough bread. But that's hectic. Anyway, yeah, it had everything, and you could put your rubbish there.
Yeah.
And then from that, not far from the actual Roadhouse, is the Manning Gorge campground.
Yeah, which is still just a primitive camp. It's got toilets and showers, but yeah, all unpowered. You're literally just in a paddock sort of thing.
Yeah, and that was $50 a night the first night, and then $30 thereafter.
Yeah, and you sort of need 2 nights there if you're going to do the walk, I reckon.
Yeah, especially if you have young kids, because
Yeah.
the walk was so much fun, because the first bit you've got to have take all your stuff over in little
Plastic drum.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you got to do the walk. Took us about an hour and a half.
Yeah, with the 3 boys.
Yeah, to the actual Manning Falls, and they were impressive too because we were early in the season. A lot of water was coming over them.
Yeah, and the walk itself is a little bit harder near the end.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, once you get to the gorge, because it's a lot of rock climbing sort of thing.
Yeah, and I've probably actually put that nearly probably the top of the Gibb.
Yeah,
waterfalls and gorges.
It was beautiful. And don't forget, if you have like a easy floaty to carry, take that, because it was so cool to go around
The back of the falls.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was Manning.
Yeah.
And we stayed there 3 nights?
We stayed there 2 nights. And we filled up with water and got out of there. We were looking for free camps pretty well from then on in.
Yeah, we did splash out and get coffees.
And hot chips.
And hot chips, yeah.
Yeah. So then, like, leaving Mount Barnett Roadhouse, you keep pushing along the Gibb, and it goes through all this sort of, dirt road country with all the escarpments and all that around you.
It is beautiful.
It's a beautiful drive, yeah. And your next station is Mount Elizabeth Station. Now, we didn't stay there because we thought it was a bit expensive. You got your camping fees, and they've got a couple of gorges there, which they charge you on top of the camping fees, a gorge permit, which was $15, and I think the camping was like $60 a night or something.
Yeah,
like that,
something like that. There is a 4-wheel drive track people said was awesome. It did take a while for them to do. I don't know.
Down to one of the gorges, I think.
Yeah.
But
yeah, like we said, we didn't do that. There was 2 gorges, and we didn't stay there.
No, we're free campers, and we just got sick of paying, to be honest.
Yeah. But there is, again, like, it's a station. It's sort of like, it's got everything.
Yeah, they do like hot meals of a night time. Like, it's sort of catered to that commercial side of things, the stations.
Yeah.
Our favourite free camp along the Gibb was the 𝐼𝐻 River rest area.
Yeah.
And it's just a little free camp perched up along the 𝐼𝐻 River. We stayed there for a week. Yeah,
we did. It was incredible. There's not many spots, it's very limited, and we just jagged the most amazing spot.
Yeah.
It was so good, and that's where we spent our middle child's birthday, Finney's. And yeah, we stayed a whole week. It was just incredible, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it had a rope swing, shallow water for the kids to play in, like running water. It was just a top spot, especially for free.
Yeah.
All right, and then you jump back on the Gibb and you move towards 𝐿𝐵 Station, which is famous for its scones.
Yeah.
And we didn't do that, and baths.
Oh yeah, and you can have baths. I think it was like $90 per hour. You got to book it in.
For the bath.
For the bath. And then, like, if you wanted a cheese platter, $40 or something.
Yeah. And then the scones and all that sort of stuff. And it had camping, water, fuel, all the stuff.
Yeah, and again, it's like $60, $65.
For unpowered camping.
Yeah, and I said to Nick, I'll make him some scones. Anyway, a lot of people went there, said the scones are amazing. I don't know. Anyway, next up was the Gibb River rest area, which we didn't go to because we thought we would be backtracking to go up the 𝐿𝐵 Road up north to all the cool stuff on the Gibb, but as luck would have it, it rained and shut all those roads, so we didn't end up staying at the Gibb River rest area, but apparently it is a perler.
Yeah, so from the GIBB River Rest area, you can go up to Drysdale River Station and keep going up to 𝐿'𝐵𝐴𝐴, Mitchell Falls and all that. But it was all shut off when we were there, hey?
Yeah.
Much to my disgust, because...
Nick was sooking for the whole bloody GIBB River.
Well, that's like, realistically, honestly, that's the only part I wanted to do of the GIBB, really, is that up there. It was all shut.
And then we'd heard it was forecasted more rain, so we were just, It
wasn't happening for us this year. I still don't think it's open now, and it's been like a month after we've done the GIBB.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So, I mean, you stay there and do all that, and then if you don't, or not interested in that, like the Mitchell Plateau and all that sort of thing, next is Home Valley Station, which is very similar to all the other stations. They do hot meals, you know, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, a bit like Caravan Park, really, just unpowered.
Pretty well.
Yeah.
And then it comes to the Pentecost River.
Yeah. And that was a bit of a shock. I don't know. A bit of shock for me. I'd just, you know, as you hear along the grapevine,
drummed it up in your head.
Yeah, drummed it up. It was not deep at all. It is like rock bottom.
Two-wheel drive easy over it, eh?
Yeah.
And anyway, it was not a letdown, but it wasn't what I drummed up, or we drummed up in our heads.
But the Pentecost River camp,
it's beautiful,
unreal. We got there late. If you can get there earlier,
you get the good spots.
And you're sort of on top of each other. But it is a beautiful spot, and that's like when the sunset started to change, like the NT sunsets, didn't it?
Yeah, well, everything starts to look a little bit more the Northern Territory, and I'm all for that.
But yeah, such an awesome free camp, and that's actually where we stayed and explored 𝐿𝐴𝐻𝐻.
Yeah, from that free camp, from then on is tar.
Yeah.
So it is not, the GIBB River Road is not that long, really. You know, if you can put it in like 400 k's of dirt, you could do that in a day, really.
Yeah.
But but anyway, from Pentecost River to 𝐿𝐴𝐻𝐻's tar, it's about 25 kilometres or something like that.
Yeah.
25, 30 kilometres. So we just day tripped it in there.
Yeah.
Did all the gorges, and all the gorges in 𝐿𝐴𝐻𝐻 are beautiful. If you want to see all like specific gorges and stuff like that, we've done a little mini series on the whole GIBB that you can go back and watch in a bit more depth, but this video is just for sort of tricks and hints.
Yeah. And that was sort of GIBB River
done and dusted.
Yeah.
It was a little bit weird because Elenya and I had drummed this whole experience up in our head, and it was coming in up here. We're going, yeah, this is going to be sick. And it sort of come in here.
To be fair, being on the road for so long, we have seen the most incredible places. We've done a lot of remote travel, a lot of untouched places, and I think the GIBB River was very commercialised for me.
Yeah.
And I think that it lost its whole adventure, but it is what it is. We've done it now. I probably wouldn't do it again.
Yeah, no,
that's just my opinion.
We're going to be doing it again because we'll go up to 𝐿'𝐵𝐴𝐴. If 𝐿'𝐵𝐴𝐴 and Honeymoon Bay, McGowan's and all that were open, I think it could have been a different story, you know?
Yeah, maybe. But that main bit didn't really interest us. Hopefully...
It's a weird thing, hey? We're just so lucky to do what we do and, you know...
experience these amazing places.
We won't run through, tyre pressures and all that because the truck's completely different to a normal car.
Yeah.
But the roads, in all honesty, probably the best dirt road we've ever done in Australia.
But like I said at the start, it is different for everyone. If you're not used to dirt roads,
just let your tyres down a little bit and don't gun it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there was a lot of people gunning it. That's just silly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just got to be so careful.
Just cruise on into stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still an awesome trip. I mean, the gorges are second to none. The gorges are pretty beautiful.
They are beautiful.
Yeah.
They are. I'm glad we've done it. But yeah, when we go back, we'll be staying at that GIBB River Rest area and then going up to
𝐿'𝐵𝐴𝐴.
To 𝐿'𝐵𝐴𝐴.
Yeah. And then going from 𝐿'𝐵𝐴𝐴 back straight across to Derby.
So I just wrote down 5 little points of what I wished I knew before hitting the GIBB. So there's heaps of water. There is every bloody station has water. It's just easily accessible.
Yeah, and if you can pull water out of a creek, there's
Yeah, even better.
There's creeks everywhere to pull water out of.
Yeah, so water is just, yeah. There's not many places to put your rubbish.
Unless you go to the stations.
Yeah. There is no dump points.
At all along the GIBB.
Yeah, that was a tough one, but lucky we have the composting toilet.
If you had a cassette toilet, you'd nearly
I don't
need...
know how you do it.
Yeah, you'd nearly need a couple of cassettes.
Yeah. Yeah, that was interesting. There was no dump points.
None.
Also, check the weather when you're about to hit the GIBB River Road. Check the weather and the road closures or the gorge closures. You need to be sort of onto that, and it was quite difficult to navigate that actually because
there's like 3 different sites. You know, you got the national parks, and then you've got
the shires.
Shire of East Kimberley, Wyndham, or something like that. Yeah.
Everyone has different opinions.
Yeah, and they can shut them, you know, if there's fires and all that, they can shut them like that, yeah.
Yeah, so just be onto it and be mindful of that. And the national park camps, I don't know why we thought they were $17 or what we were thinking, but they are pretty expensive for what they are. But yeah, if that's not a problem, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So there's fuel everywhere. It might be a little bit more expensive than you would normally pay, but there's fuel, water, everything. There's it's nothing to worry about. I think, you know, coming this side and talking to people that are going to do the GIBB, and they're like,
we need to stock up so much stuff.
Yeah, like the reality is you could probably do the GIBB in 3 days.
Yeah, which many people do.
Which a lot of people do. Like, I reckon a week to 2 weeks is a good
I think
time.
3 weeks.
Two. How long did we take?
3 weeks.
We took 3 weeks to do it.
Yeah.
And we didn't go up to the Mitchell Plateau, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It depends how fast you like to travel, how quickly you can do the gorges, and.
Yeah. And watch out for the tour buses because they hook. They go fast.
Yeah, they do. They give it some. Yeah. Anyway, that is just our insight and a bit of tips, tricks, and our experience on the GIBB. That's GIBB River 2025.
Yeah.
Remember, it does change. Remember, roads are never the same, and that's anywhere in Australia.
Yep.
But yeah, that is our GIBB River Road.
Yeah, and take it easy. We'll see you on Friday.
See you later, guys.